Hey, what's going on, tribe? It's Red again, just hitting you guys up with another video. If you're new to my channel, welcome. So guys, for some reason I've been guided to give you a past life reading again. A lot of people have been getting at me about the past life readings and stuff. So I thought, yeah, I'm being guided to give you guys another past life reading, because if you know where you're coming from, you're going to know where you're going to a certain degree, if you get me. So this is going to be a general reading for all the star signs, and it's going to be a timeless reading. So when you come across this video, it's for you. And if any of you are interested in the personal reading, you can send me an email or send me a DM on Instagram. And if any of you are interested in any distance Reiki healing, you can send me a DM or send me an email. I'm going to put all my information in the drop down menu and at the end of every video. Alright, so let's see what part of the collective I'm picking up today to see where you guys' past life was. The first past life reading I done, it was like Native American and South American, and the last one I've done was more of a galactic, so Pleiadian maybe, and also had Native American in there as well. So yeah, let's see, and Rome, and you guys had past lives in Rome as well. So let's see what past lives are popping up in today's reading. All right. So the first card that come out is phobias. So you may have phobias from this lifetime that stem back to previous lifetimes. I'm getting all shivery now. Yeah, my angels are around me, or I'm picking up stuff weird. I get these kind of it's like these cold shivers when different energies are around me, and it's hot. Yeah, so it's weird. So yeah, you may have phobias from this lifetime that stem back to previous lifetimes. So if you have a fear of heights or a fear of water, that may be because you passed away in previous lifetimes. Maybe you drowned in a previous lifetime, or if you are scared of heights, you might have fell from somewhere high in your previous lifetime. So you may want to do some cord cutting if you're you feel that you're being blocked in this lifetime. Because in my previous lifetimes, I've I've been beheaded, I've been hung, and I've been shackled by the neck, and that's all to do with the throat chakra expressing myself. So that's what I struggle with in this lifetime. So that's one of my lifetime missions, to learn to express myself freely, should I say, without yeah. So yeah, you've got phobias that are connected to previous lifetimes, so you may want to check that out. And if you quiet your mind and view your phobias, it may stem from you may pick up, oh yeah, this is what happened. Or ask for a sign from your angels and they'll give you a sign. Right, let's see what else is popping. And then the next card is community living. So yeah, you was living in a community. Community. I'm getting kind of a tightly closed area, man. You know how I'm envisioning Brazil. You know how the houses are on like the mountain, and they're kind of stacked on top of each other to a certain degree. That's what I'm kind of visioning. So you may have had previous lifetimes in Brazil, maybe. Alright, let's see what else is popping. Then you have wisdom that come out in the last card as well. So yeah, you're very you might have been an advisor or an elder that people turn to for wisdom and guidance in your lifetimes. And people just come to you for the knowledge that you had. Maybe you was I'm getting you was open to higher dimensions, um, whatever lifetime this was. So you was able to get ancient knowledge and wisdom through, obviously through life experience as well, but also being channeled to you is what I'm getting. And then the next card is father. So you was a father in the previous lifetime. Let's see what else is coming up. And then you got trust and faith that come out as well. So you had trust and faith in the higher powers. And in the forces of the way life worked, you was kind of not kind of, you was very in tune with like the cycle of life, death and rebirth, reincarnations. So this is where your wisdom stems from. You was very in tune into the other side, the mystics, the mystical side of things. Let's see what else is coming up. Yeah, and then you got biblical. So that doesn't have to mean biblical. That is to do with like, what I get from it is more one second. You might have been around the time when certain ascended masters were around, is what I'm getting. So you may have been one of Jesus's followers, or Moses's followers as well. So that you would have got a lot of wisdom and knowledge from listening to them. So if you was of a follower of one of the ascended masters, they're going to teach you a lot of wisdom as well. Very interesting. All right, have you got a time around the time because you're getting biblical? All right. Okay. You was a scribe or writer. So you what? Okay. So you know how just envisioning. Yeah, well, I'll tell you what I'm envisioning. I'm envisioning, you know, them people that kind of write carvings onto stone, like in caves, because they didn't used to have paper and stuff, like markings that if they went on a hunt, they would carve it into the walls, and you could see the story unfold on the walls of a cave. That's what I'm envisioning. So you may have written some of your life experiences or stuff that you was going through, like in caves. Because if you go to caves in like tribal areas and like the native lands, if you still go to caves now, you'll see their artwork, but the artwork tells a story of what was going on, if that made sense. So yeah, you was a scribe or writer as well. Let's see what else is popping. You got imprisonment or slavery. So yeah, you was imprisoned or a slave at some point. I was imprisoned at one point in one of my past lifetimes. I was shackled by the neck. That I was saying, I have throat problems and difficulties expressing myself, like communication and stuff, and that's because I was imprisoned by the throat. So you may have you may also, if you get a lot of throat problems and stuff, that may be because you have an energy cord attached to previous lifetimes, like with to do with the throat. So yeah, if you also may struggle with what's the word, If you feel claustrophobic in this lifetime, that may be because you was locked away in another lifetime because you felt like you couldn't get free, you was trapped, and you couldn't get out, should I say. So that may be something you may want to check out as well. And then you got, the next card was farm. So yeah, you may have worked on a farm, you may have had cattle. You was a farmer, you was a farmer, you was a father. You had a lot of wisdom. You was imprisoned at one point in your previous lifetime. You was very religious, should I say, biblical, religious, spiritual. Depends whatever resonates with you. You had a lot of trust and faith in the higher powers. And you was living communal as well. And you was also a scribe or a writer. So you might have been a poet or a writer. Yeah, let's see what else is coming up. And then the next card you had come out was trees. So you may have had a strong connection with trees. You may have been a tree in your past life as well, because plants are actually they're in the second dimension, so they're 2D. They're conscious, they're living, but they haven't got the awareness and stuff that we got because we are human beings. We've got physical form, so we are 3D. Animals and plants, they're actually 2D. So you may have a connection with plants and trees, or you may have you may have lived in the jungle or have a strong connection with trees. You may be a medicine man or woman as well. Alright, let's see what else is popping. And then you've got angels is the next card. So you may have had a strong connection with angels. You may have been able to see and hear angels. This may be why you got imprisoned, because you could foresee stuff. You know, back in the day, if you told people you heard voices and they're telling you to tell people to do stuff, they're going to see you as a crazy person. So you may have been imprisoned or a slave due to you being able to communicate with angels. Right, let's see what else is popping. Very interesting. If you feel that it resonates, please hit the comments to let me know, because I've only just started doing these past life readings, because I think they're quite helpful for you on your journey. Like I was saying, if you know where you're coming from, you'll know where you're headed. You know what I'm saying? And it's all a piece to the puzzle. These are different kind of readings. That the other cards, they're telling you kind of giving you guidance. This is giving you your past. Let's see what else is going on. And then you had female, male. So you may have been oh, I see it. You may have had previous lifetimes where you was maybe a man or a woman, but you felt like you was in the wrong body. If that made sense. And this would go against being biblical. So being lesbian or being gay, that would be kind of frowned upon back in these times. So you had a phobia of coming out and speaking about your sexuality. So you may have been imprisoned for liking the opposite sex, is what I'm getting. And you had a phobia of maybe speaking out about this. But people may have known in the community that you liked the same sex. Interesting. That's just one part of that I'm getting from. Very interesting. Let's see. I'm gonna pull like a couple more cards. I pulled like 2 more to see what else you got for this past life reading, for this part of the collective that I'm picking up on. So you may still have that you may have that phobia of coming out of the closet saying you're gay or lesbian in this lifetime, because you've been imprisoned in previous lifetimes for your sexuality. Just to let you guys know. Yeah, I think that's what's happened. So there was wars and battles. You may have been in wars and battles. Um, yeah, that's what I'm getting. You may have been in wars and battles in whatever lifetime this was. Baby is the next card. So from what I can see, you may have been lesbian or gay, but you was a father and you had children, but you was scared to come out of the closet, or you came out of the closet and the community found out about it, and then you was locked in, imprisoned about it. You was locked in, imprisoned for your sexuality, and you may have written this down, maybe your experience while you was in prison, maybe. But yeah, you still you had a lot of trust and faith as well, and a lot of wisdom. So yeah, the main part, you was connected. You had a strong connection with trees. You maybe could have heard, could communicate with your angels, or your angels were giving you messages. You had a lot of wisdom. You was community living, but what I'm picking up more is the um, the sexuality is what I'm getting. So you was a father. You had children. You liked men and women, maybe, possibly, or you was going out with a woman to kind of hide your sexuality. You had a phobia about coming out of the closet. Obviously, biblical. In them times, whatever time this was, it was kind of wrong or frowned upon to be homosexual, and then you was imprisoned or a slave for coming out of the closet or your sexuality, and you used to write about your experience, or you might have expressed your feelings from you might have written down your expressed your feelings through poetry, maybe, is what I'm getting. But you had a lot of wisdom. You lived in the community. You was communal living, but you owned a farm. Or you might have had a little patch of land where you raised like chickens or stuff. Didn't have to be a whole farm. Could just be a part of land where you raised animals. You had connection with trees, or maybe there was many trees in your area. You had a baby as well. I think the baby was more to throw people off of your sexuality from you liking the same sex. But you got a lot of signs and was connected to your angels, but you still had a lot of trust and faith as well. So it doesn't matter what your sexuality was. You still had a lot of faith and you believed in higher powers anyway. But yeah, that is your past life reading, guys. Not really sure what kind of time this was, because it didn't really come up in the reading. But yeah, very interesting, very interesting. So if you've got any phobias, yeah, they definitely link back to this past life as well. So you may want to just have a little look at your phobias to see if you think, oh yeah, they may stem from a previous lifetime. But yeah, if you like the video, like, share, subscribe, don't be shy, and hit that little bell thingy so when I upload a reading, you guys can get notified, because the algorithm and the censorship is wild, but we still got to put the information out there, and it will be received by who it's meant to be received by. And you guys got to hit the comments and let me know what kind of reading you guys want, or should I just go with the flow? If you like past life readings, guidance, life lessons, yes or no answers, hit me up and let me know, man. Anyway, peace, love and light, tribe, and I'm going to hit you guys up real soon. Thanks for watching.